Hi guys, it's Timera Love. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be back. Today's episode is going to be a little bit deeper because we're going to be talking about the trials and tribulations of being broke and how to get out of it. So with all due respect, being broke is devastating, it's depressing, it's stressful, it's difficult to see a way out. I know this, I've been there, but I do want to kind of bring a more positive tone to it. And this is the way I speak to myself. This is the way I've taken myself out of those situations. I do want to take some time to acknowledge that I do come from a place of privilege. I have parents back in Durban that I could always go back home to. I was never really going to be on the streets. I just had so many times run out of my own finances. I had zero in the bank account. I had run out of my savings. I was broke many times. I just want to let you know that it happens to the best of us. My advice is on my own experiences. It's my dialogue, my mindset. Take what you feel helps your situation out. I just hope that you see some value in what I have to say. So let's talk about being broke. I am not afraid of being broke because I've been broke so many times. People don't know this about me. They think I have this glamorous life, which obviously, I put that on Instagram because who wants to see the struggle, right? But I have been broke so many times. I remember when I was in Johannesburg, basically this happened to me in my late 20s. I ran out of money and I started to scale down, and I started looking at things when I'd go to the grocery store, buying peanut butter, buying cereals. That was all a luxury item. I quickly realized that I could not spend anything above survival mode. I did not have a cent for that stuff. I remember I was walking past the coffee shop that I love so much, and I literally couldn't afford a cup of coffee. I had nothing. Even petrol, I would scale back on even going out because I didn't have enough money to fill my tank. Things got really real for me. What I did in that situation is that I quickly went back to my budget. Right? I started to plan my month concisely. Every single thing was accounted for. Guys, I'm talking not even an extra piece of cheese. So I had to basically get super concise as to where my money was going, account for every cent so that I was not spending money on things I did not need, that were not a need. I'm talking rent, I'm talking car insurance, I'm talking medical aid, your basic necessities, what you need to survive. Everything else became a no-no. I could not do that. I just scaled down, okay? Basic necessities, survival mode, you need to cut back on anything fancy. After scaling down, what I did introduce to my budget after about 3 months, a certain amount of money into just investments. And I had, I think, 3 investments. What are these investments? These investments was super crucial to my mental health, my physical health. Basically, I used these things to get my life back, right? So what were those things? That was my gym. I made sure, even though I couldn't go and afford an ice cream or a block of cheese or extra petrol money, I made sure that I could go to the gym. The gym was walking distance for me. I made sure it was a gym that I could, walk to if I had to. This helped me so much with my mental game. It gave me confidence. I also used the gym to network with like-minded people who were there to progress in their body, and they had that mindset. I was also very resourceful to think of, okay, since I'm going to a gym, I might as well go to a good gym that's a little bit more pricier so that I can mingle with people that are of a different kind of income bracket, that I can motivate myself in those kind of conversations, speaking about business and entrepreneurship and things like that. Not only was my investment on my gym and getting my confidence and my body right and my physical energy right, I also used it to network. My second investment that I used my money on was my life coach, my therapist, and that was to keep me super grounded. I needed someone to run my ideas on. I had goals that I was working towards. So I made sure that I had scraped up enough money just for one therapy session a month just to keep my mind right. My other important investment was the internet. A lot of people think that you take this for granted. I know my whole life I took it for granted. But when I was in the shit, I was trying to build my business up again, just make more income. I needed ideas. I needed to listen to mentors. I needed to access a platform of successful people. And the best place to do that is YouTube. Literally everything that you need, all the motivation, all of that is on YouTube. I listened day in and day out to Oprah, Tony Robbins. I would listen to the life story of Elon Musk, and I would take notes on a diary. Okay, this is how they spend their time. This is thoughts that they think. This is how they speak to themselves. And I started to implement it back into my life. Those were the 3 investments, guys. I cannot stress enough that YouTube is a free platform of infinite knowledge that you can use. All you have to do is get up off your butt and use it. That's what I did. The next thing I did was I got really resourceful. I was able to use everything around me as some sort of lesson, opportunity, or a way forward. Every conversation, for me, I was listening. How can I use this to my benefit to help me grow? On that note, I just want to say, while I was looking for resources around me, there were plenty of opportunities of guys wanting to fund me or come up with little proposals or arrangements. Not the type that I was very comfortable with, purely because once you go into that kind of arrangement, you become a prisoner to whatever their agenda is. You're basically living in a beautiful prison. I remember the gent coming at me and he gave me a number of like, what is it, 25K? I never had to worry about anything. All I had to do was be his side chick. That was amazing, but no, not for me, because I understood very quickly that even though in desperate times, that comes at a price. The price that you will pay is that you are now going to be under their control. You're never going to be free, and you'll be living in a very beautiful cage, a beautiful prison. That's not the life I envisioned for myself. Going back to being resourceful, I would mingle and network and use every conversation, every situation to my advantage, but at the same time, I would give back. Like, you can't just take. There's many situations I've just been taking. I've burnt my fingers because that person gets so over you using them that they will just leave. You've got to think, I can't just take, I've got to give. And that comes to my next point of being entitled. If there's one thing that boils my blood, it is entitlement. I was once the most entitled brat you could even think of. It actually annoys me to think of who I was at some points in my life. Super entitled. Everything was given to me and I just had to snap my fingers and things were there. I never thought about the next person. I never thought about taking time to assist the next person. I would just take. And that is a bullshit way to carry on. That is how you actually lose friends and you lose the real people that are around you. And I learned that the hard way. There is no room for entitlement. As much as you need a mentor or you need some advice from somebody, you have to offer them something back to give them value. It may not be money. As a life coach now, people write to me all the time, Timera, please can you help me with this? Please can you spare me half an hour to chat about this? Sometimes it'll be direct like, hey Timera, what is XYZ? Guys, I don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes me anything. But what I did was when I reached out to a mentor, I remember it was a gentleman who was such an amazing businessman. He was like a multi-millionaire and he had no business like helping me out, right? He was happy and he lived in a very fancy place. I literally went up to them and I said, do you know what, sir? I know that you are doing this and you're very successful. I want to make you an offer. I want to train you at cost price, like some ridiculous figure. I think it was like 150 Rand an hour. Like, I'm serious. It was 150 Rand an hour, barely even covering my petrol. And I would train him and all I said was just answer the questions in our session about business. I'm just a sponge and I want to learn everything that you know. I think he was just taken away by my eagerness to learn. I don't think he even needed a trainer, but I trained him for about 6 months. And within those 6 months, I learned so much. I didn't make money, but I broke even. I paid my petrol to go there and to come back home daily. But the amount of knowledge that I learned from that man, it's priceless. And I think, guys, take that leap of faith, but don't forget, don't be entitled. Give something back in your own capacity. It really helped me. Being so entitled, I'm going to give you an example. Don't judge me. But I was in a relationship at the time, and this was with a gent that was very well off, but he didn't owe me shit, right? But at the time I felt like, oh my god, like I'm the princess, and it was Valentine's Day and I didn't buy him anything. I basically said to him, hi, like, where's my gift? And he says that he gave me some chocolates. I was like, not good enough, take me shopping. I just kept demanding and thinking that was his job to give me things. What do you think happened? That relationship literally went down the drain because of my entitlement of not giving back. You've got to give back, guys, and stop demanding. I was so demanding and I learned it the hard way. 6 months in, I was good. I had extra money to buy multiple coffees. I was okay. I was already progressing. My income was growing. I was feeling more comfortable. And that's when I said to myself, Timera, never let this shit happen to you again in your life. Never depend on somebody. Never feel entitled. Never just chill out and be like, I'm good because I have X amount for the next 2 months in my account. No, you've got to keep progressing. You never know when you're going to need that money. The next step for me was upskilling. I created multiple sources of income for myself. I'm still on that. I'm still building that. I'm nowhere near where I need to be because it is a work in progress. This doesn't happen overnight. It's many days, weeks, months of working your butt off. That's where I am. That's where I'm going to leave you on my last point today is upskill. Find different ways of making money so you're not just relying on one income stream. That's basically what I did. And I just want to tell you on that note, I tried to sell a product. I've tried to sell many products. Certain products were not authentic to me and I saw that in the sales, but I didn't give up. I literally lost money, but I came back and I started to look at other products that spoke more to who I was. And I was successful in those products. So all I'm saying is don't give up if something doesn't work. Just keep trying different types. You may even find avenues and genres of work that you never thought you'd be doing, and you will love it. Keep growing, keep flourishing, keep trying, keep striving. You're not alone. If you're broke, understand something. All of these influencers, all of these fancy people, they've been there too. I've been there. So guys, that's all I have to say on that topic. Obviously, I have much more to say, but I can't just go on forever. If you guys have any comments or any questions, please hit me up, like and subscribe. Thank you for following me. It honestly inspires me to do this. Have an awesome week. And if you're broke, don't stress. You can do it. Just look at the points that I've said and good luck on your journey. Lots of love. Mwah.